Hi everyone, we move to the NFC South for our team previews this time. We're starting with the Atlanta Falcons, led by head coach Mike Smith. He's been fantastic in it since he was hired by Thomas Dimitroff. And big note about Thomas Dimitroff, we went to the same high school, so I got a bit of rooting interest to see his team do well. Mike Smith's Falcons, 13-3 last year, lost to the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. On offense, they're led by Matt Ryan, who signed a monster extension. But in 5 years, he's only got one playoff win. And there's some reasons for that. He doesn't have great arm strength, and he makes a few mistakes that cost his team. But this is a team that spent the offseason trying to improve themselves, but were hindered by cap space, due in large part to some of the extensions, mainly Matt Ryan's. Their big offseason acquisition, Steven Jackson, the former Rams running back, is now now hitting 30. So you have to wonder, how much does he have left? But if he's the same player as last year, the Falcons are going to get a good runner who's going to run with power, run with some ferocity, be a major improvement over Michael Turner, and he's going to be a very good receiver. Then you look at his backup, you got Jaquiz Rodgers, who is small, elusive, good in space. He's going to be focusing more on returning now, which should give the Falcons a bit of a spark in special teams. We go to Julio Jones, the top wide receiver. They drafted him 6th overall a few years ago. He's big, strong, physical, and a top 10 wide receiver. Opposite him, you've got Roddy White, who's nearing the end of his prime, but still a very good wide receiver. He'll go over 1,000 yards again, but don't expect him to approach the 1,400-yard total again. Harry Douglas is the third wide receiver, and you're okay with him. You'd prefer someone to be better in that offense. We move to their tight end, where they got the greatest tight end of all time, Tony Gonzalez. No one's matched Tony Gonzalez, but he's 37 years old. He can't stretch the field like he once did, but he's still going to get you a lot of catches in the middle. He's got great hands, great route runner. You know what you're going to get. The offensive line is a huge question mark. I had a friend text me that the Falcons had given up something like sacks on 10% of Ryan's snaps in the preseason, which is ridiculous. I mean, considering that you're probably going to be throwing a touchdown 5%, an interception 3%, and a sack 10%, wow, that's going to be tough for them to overcome. Sam Baker is the incumbent at left tackle. They drafted him in the first round, but back injuries have held him back. He really hasn't met the potential that he's had, but a lot of those UFC guys haven't. Their best lineman on the line is left guard Justin Blaylock, who's a mauler out of Texas. He's a very good player. Peter Kantz is their starting center, replacing longtime center Todd McClure. He started a few games at right guard last year. He was their second round pick out of Wisconsin the year before, so he should be a good fit at center. You always like those Wisconsin linemen. They are always consistently good. We move to right guard, where you have Garrett Reynolds, who is below average starter, and then you have a humongous question mark at right tackle. They lost Tyson Clabo. They lost Lane Johnson to injury. And then they're starting Lamar Holmes, their 2012 third-round pick. And really, you have very little game experience for him. That's a huge question mark at that right side. Ryan could get hit a lot. That's going to be a hard side for them to run. We go to their defense, where the big signing was Usi Umenyiora. He replaces John Abraham, who was just a pass rush specialist, but he really was their only pass rush they had. Umenyiora looked lost at times against the zone raid. You have to wonder what he can do, what he's got left. Coy Berman is the other end, and he should not be a starter. This is a very, very weak defense. There's a lot of holes. We go to their defensive tackles. Jordan Babineau has some left, but not a lot. He's exiting his prime. Corey Peters is a below-average starter, and Pierre Jerry has been a disappointing draft guy since they drafted him in the first round, never living up to his hype. This team just has a lot of holes, and you have to think this team's window was last year, and their window is closing fast. We got a linebacker, Akeem Dent, starter. I mean, you look at what they had in Curtis Lofton, and he's a big downgrade. You look at Sean Witherspoon, he's their best player on defense. He makes plays, but he sometimes doesn't give a full effort. We saw that one play when he sort of gave up on a tackle and turned into his touchdown. Stephen Nichols, below average starter. We go to the secondary where they spent their first round pick on Desmond Trufant. They also spent their second round pick on Robert Alford out of southeastern Louisiana. I like Trufant just when he's starting opposite Asante Samuel, who, yes, Samuel is old, but he's got great ball skills. He can still make plays. You like to have him on your defense. We go now to strong safety and free safety. They've got one of the better combos in the league. William Moore, Thomas DeCloud. They're very complementary of each other. They fit each other's styles well. It's a good combo. Go to special teams. Matt Bryant's been great since they signed him. And Matt Bosher, there's not a lot to say about him. It's in that dome, you just want to cover punts. I expect the Falcons to take a step back, miss the playoffs at 8-8, and that's my preview for the Atlanta Falcons.